What is going on with this market? It's not what you're hearing. It's not what you're reading. At least if you're local to us, it's not. If you're someplace else, it might be. But I am, Danielle, I don't know about you, but I am reading the most ridiculous things in Facebook groups about the market.
Well, yeah, and it's not even Facebook groups. I mean, not just our real estate groups.
No, I mean public Facebook groups. That's where I'm seeing the craziness.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you get the headlines, and the headlines are almost always misleading, right? And then you think you know what's going on. And, we're not trying to be Pollyanna here. But we've got numbers. And in the last time we did this was the beginning of July. And we really weren't sure what we were going to see because traditionally July and August are slower months for real estate, buying and selling. And so were we going to start seeing a huge dip? Were we going to, was this the beginning of what people had been predicting? We're about to show you some numbers, and in my estimation of those numbers in different categories, that isn't necessarily the case. So let me remember how to do this. There you go. We've taken a couple weeks off. We're a little rusty here. But it's good to be back. All right. So here is my favorite tool that we have in the MLS. So we have, so today's, what we're using, which is usually what we use to be consistent when we're doing these statistics. So we have the overall MLS area, which is basically the greater Chicagoland area. We have Plano, we have Kendall County, and we have Naperville. So we're going to start with sales price. So this is since, I'm sorry, I'm going to readjust this because, wait, why? Okay, well, I don't know. Earlier, some of these weren't going as far back. But this was January 2022. So we have the median sales price in the Chicagoland area was $280, Naperville $448. Hopefully these are big enough. You can see these on the screen easily. Plano was $217 and Kendall County was just under $300. This is January 1st, where people were saying we were in a great position, a really, actually even maybe too fast growing real estate market. And here we are, end of August. So this is even after we had 2 months of what's considered generally slow periods of time. We have an increase. As you can see, these numbers are going up. Not a ton, but that's okay.
But when you step back and look at the trajectory as a whole, you see one direction. The other thing is, I don't know, you're possibly going to show this, but somebody in one of those Facebook groups the other day grabbed a snippet from an advertising site, let's call it, whose purpose is advertising, and said, here's the graph that shows that the beginning of prices going down. And it showed July to August of 2022. And I said, and if you go back to any year in our history, you'll find a nearly identical line.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we are.
Yes. We can do, why is this cutting off my options here? All right, we'll go month supply. We talk about that a lot. So again, just if you haven't been in any of our others or you've forgotten since the last time we have done a market update, a buyer's market is about 4+ months of supply. It basically means everything on market today in X amount of months will theoretically sell. We have been hanging out in the 2 to 1 range for our areas. General MLS is 2.5.
I don't know whether I'm frozen or Danielle is frozen.
I'm not seeing you frozen at all. So I'm just going to keep going.
Okay, cool.
July 2021. So about a year ago, we were at Plano and was under a month supply. Kendall County and Naperville were about a month and a week, month and a half. We are currently up just a tad to that actual real 1 month and a half and just over a month for Plano. But again, that's not necessarily too far off from when we were in May and April, when people were talking about, there's nothing out there. People are selling as quickly as they're putting it up. We're not really seeing too different of a supply. Lost Ruth for a second, but that's okay. So these are still really good numbers. Last year, middle of the year, you weren't having anybody say we had too much. We're seeing even better numbers than last July as far as month supply goes. And then we'll go original. This is kind of an interesting one. Original percentage of, so basically what is the list price and what did it close for? So this is going to be something that I am not surprised about, because we were pushing the envelope with some of the prices, right? Because you take what was just sold and you try to bump it up. You try to bump it up. That's kind of how real estate goes. And so we did see kind of a bit of a peak where people were going over list price. Well, there has been less buyers out there, a little bit more concerned or a little bit more conservative, because the interest rates are 2-3 points more than they were maybe at the beginning of this year. So you got a little bit more conservative. Doesn't mean the house isn't necessarily valued at that. It just means that people might not be going up and above list price. So in May, we were across the board above list price. So no house was selling. If you list your house for 300, you could expect to get approximately 305 maybe, depending on the condition and where you were at. Now we are seeing a little bit under. And by a little bit under, I mean literally maybe a couple thousand. That's nothing. That's maybe allowing people to start a little bit of negotiating, maybe getting some closing costs here or there, where we weren't seeing that for nearly 2 years. But, even Plano is listed at still 100%. Kendall County 99.9. So that pretty much still is people getting in at the correct market price and listing their house and understanding that, a good house priced right, which is what Ruth and I always said, that pricing a house right for the condition, the location, because those are the 3 factors that really make the biggest, desirability for a home. Price, market, location, and condition. So this is all very close. It's just the general MLS that's a little under 99%, but the other ones are basically 98, 99.8, 99.9, and 100%. So basically, again, if you're listing it right, it's selling very fast. Ruth, are you back?
I think so.
Okay, I can hear you. Your video isn't so great, but that's okay.
Okay, so I was having, I'm having technical difficulties with my phone. So
okay. Well, anyway,
just go ahead and I'll jump in when I can.
Sure. Well, we went over the month supply. We went over the list, the percentage, and we're still hanging at pretty much 100%, if not very, very, very close to it. And this is original list, quite honestly. So that is taking into consideration a decent amount of price adjustments that I've been seeing too, over the last, because there are some people who got freaked when their house didn't go under contract after a week or two.
Yeah, exactly. We need to put price adjustments in context. So first of all, sometimes those mean that somebody overpriced to begin with, and is just adjusting to reality. And the other thing, as Danielle says, is a lot of people, if their house didn't sell in 5 minutes, a lot of agents buy into this. It's because it's overpriced. If buyers are taking a pause, sellers might need to take a pause and wait a minute. So we're always trying to look and really read and interpret the market. Price adjustments don't mean prices are falling.
Right. Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I mean, probably the last week of August and the first 9 days of September, I saw a big increase in the amount of showings I had in my one listing. It was almost non-existent for a couple weeks there while people got ready for, end of summer, getting their vacations out of the way, or little last minute trips, getting, if they have kids, getting the kids ready for school or off to school.
And your other listings are under contract, by the way. So 1 out of 3 had a pause in showings, and everything else is moving along swimmingly. So we're seeing similar.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a good point.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and of the, like you said, 2 out of 3 listings went like that, at or above, so we're still seeing people out there really wanting houses, and when they find something that they like, being aggressive still.
Absolutely. And we've seen that on both sides. So things there's a little bit of breathing room, but I don't want anyone to mistake that for, I'm seeing, again, in Facebook groups, not realtor ones, I'm seeing people say it's a buyer's market, or it's about to be. We're so far from a buyer's market. We don't know when we'll see one again.
Remember, month supply.
If you need to move, it's a good time to move. It's a good time to buy, and it's a good time to sell. It's just a matter of whether it's the right time for you. And we will look at all of these statistics and get you the right information.
I just want to
circumstance.
And it's been a long-term buyer's market. I'm putting up the statistics right here. When we were talking about that 4 to 5 month is where you're getting out of the neutral and kind of going to the buyers. That was April, May of 2019.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, I don't even, I can honestly say that none of my buyers or sellers at that time was thinking, wow, it's definitely a buyer's market.
Absolutely not. It sure didn't feel like a buyer's market.
It sure did not. So, and that was even at, that was a small blip, it seems, and it's just gone tighter and tighter since then. So, again, if you're thinking this is not a bad time to buy or sell. Yeah. I hate to use the cliche, and it's been a cliche I've heard 100 times, but it really is. You're buying the house and renting the rate.
Yes.
So if this is really a blip, gonna be a small time where rates are up and rates are gonna fall again, then you can refinance if necessary.
And if it's not, then this is where we are. So
but this is where we
buy
are.
Something where you are and where you live.
And as much as experts want to say we're heading into a recession or whatever, none of the and even if we do, none of those experts are saying that the interest rate's going to fall.
No, they're not.
So
people are waiting for, prices to fall and interest rates to go up. You're paying the same amount of money. Now you're going to pay the bank instead of the seller.
Correct.
So, well, thanks for listening. We will be back next week, and always enjoy this. Hopefully, I will not be out at an inspection next week. I mean, I love doing inspections. I love having buyers, but hopefully I won't be in my car next week and dealing with less technical issues.
Yeah.
So thanks, Danielle, for carrying this. And if you are an agent, we will see you on our Facebook channel. Look for the agent Facebook channel. It's under my name.
YouTube.
Raise the bar.
YouTube.
YouTube. YouTube, not Facebook. Yes.
All right. Until next week, guys. Take care.
Take it easy.